That's some comfort. That's what you want.
This is perfect.
I had
It's like
a
a queen
contract
size
in,
bed.
it is. I had a contract in Michigan once, and I went to this little show, whatever, this RV show, and they had, these people had custom-made wooden ones.
Yeah, yeah.
They were
those
so,
before, too.
they were laid out. It's awesome.
So how do you feel about the teardrop?
I love it.
The little guy.
I love the little guy. I love the little guy.
Yeah.
So you want one,
have
huh?
to get one.
Yes.
All it needs its own motor though.
Oh,
And
no.
then, I like that.
Oh yeah, you want to drive the
It's
teardrop.
like a mini motorhome.
Yeah.
I need one of those.
Yeah. So, tell us your name.
My name is Rebecca Clark.
Right.
And I am an ex-foster child.
Yeah.
Ex might not be a good. It's. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. My story. I have been. I was in foster care from pretty much the time I was born, and lived in quite a few foster homes. I have a little brother who was born when I was 4. And so we went through a lot of stuff together.
What brought you into care?
I was put into foster care because, well, we were put into foster care because our parents were addicted to drugs and alcohol. So, where do I? Should I? Oh, you're gonna cut some of this out, right?
No, you're doing great.
Okay.
You're doing great.
What else? Where should I go from here?
Well, you were taken into care when you were 1 years old?
Yeah, I can't remember.
And you'd go back and forth.
Yeah. So, one of the main reasons that we were in so many different foster homes was because our parents would clean up. There's certain things.
Take this, please. I'm sorry, I had to take the... We have a very, very excited dog. He was just making all kinds of noise. It's over there. Go. Okay.
Distractions.
I think we're going to get this interview. It's going to be very good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So one of the reasons that we were in so many foster homes was because parents would get clean, be fine, be sober, meet the requirements that they needed to, and then once they got my brother and I back, you go back to old habits. So they would start up again, and then we would be taken away. I am not exactly sure, but I have read my file, which every foster kid has, and mine's a couple boxes full. But I think we lived in like over 30 different foster homes before I was 11 and he was 7. They're back again.
Yeah. I know.
So, it's kind of hard for me to talk about this too.
Are you conscious of how it affected you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I moved into a permanent home when I was 11. That family they were my saviors. Dang it.
It's okay.
I just got to go visit them yesterday.
Yeah.
They live in Gig Harbor too, but
Yeah.
they live a little ways away. They've done foster kids for a while, so they've had quite a few foster kids.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Do you want a tissue? Let me get you a tissue.
No, I should be fine. So for me, having my brother with me was another thing that really saved me, because there were a lot of times where, when you think there's nothing else that, left for you, and there's nobody else left for you, he was there for me. Not in any type of supportive way, because not in like a direct way, just because he was so young, he didn't really understand what was going on. And I protected him from so much, but on the days that, waking up was the hardest thing, and waking up to this life that had been given to me, he was really what kept me going. Thanks, Elisa. And so, for us to be separated, and for me to be happy was so hard, because I almost felt selfish that, I could move on with my life. I still saw him, and he was still in the area, but now he had to deal with everything on his own, and it was his life now, not our life. So that was really hard for me, but Maureen and Bruce, my parents, they were amazing, and they helped me through so much, and just taught me that I don't have to be a victim of what I was, forced to go through. That, from now on, my life is mine, and decisions I make, are for me. They don't have to be for anybody else. But does this affect me? Yeah, now still, but not in a bad way, and not in a way that, I want anybody to feel sorry for me. I mean, I heard you saying that, or in the last interview, that kids don't want people to know, I don't want to walk around with a banner that says, I had a terrible childhood, and, I just want, if anything, I would much rather somebody see what I've been through and see how I am now, and how you have that decision to do with, what you want with your life. But does it affect me? Yeah. And this has all happened at such an interesting time too, because, so I lived with Maureen and Bruce from the time I was 11 up until I was 18. And then, those last couple years, life was pretty much normal. I went to high school. I had lots of friends in high school. I did sports. I did cheer. I was even prom queen. So life looked really, on the outside, looked really normal. I went to college for a year at Washington State University. And then ended up moving back here for my little brother, because he was going through some issues. So moved back here, started working full time, and it was just here for him. But with that, I've never really had any relationships as far as boyfriends go, just because I have trust issues, and just lots of things. I just don't do well with that. Not in a terrible way. I'm glad I didn't really date at all, but I was in a long-term relationship with somebody that I'm still really good friends with right now. But there was one point about a year ago when I was I just realized that there was so much stuff from my past that I hadn't dealt with yet.
Yeah.
That would come through in the way I treated him. And so I talked to him about it, and he was always the type that he didn't want to know about my past unless I wanted to tell him, and I don't like talking about it.
One of the questions I'm asking, probably the question I'm asking, I'm not sure if these dogs are good for the interview or bad for the interview.
They're good.
I've been asking the question, who was the one person in your life that made a difference to you? I have mine. Was there a person that made a difference in your life to the point where, you saw the light, you went, that's the direction I want to head in, because they cared, because, do you have that person?
Yeah. I would have to say my mom, well, my foster mom. Yeah, she, like I said, I would not be where I am today. I would not be who I was today if they didn't encourage me, and just love me for my everything, for the positive parts of me and the negative parts. yeah, she was just amazing. And yeah, there was one time when I was really struggling with between my little brother, like his life, and me trying to still be a huge part of that, and still trying to protect him, and my own life. And yeah, she sat me down and we talked for a really long time and cried a lot. But she really just believed in me and you know, told me there was nothing that I couldn't do just because, you know, somebody messed up, and one set of parents, like I wasn't good enough for one set of parents doesn't mean that, you know, I'm not good enough. It just means that was, you know, their choice, and they had their own struggles, and doesn't have to be mine. They don't have to be mine anymore.
Right.
So she still is amazing.
Yeah. So she's that person.
Yeah.
And what was that the defining moment for you? If you know, like a moment where you went, okay, I can move forward now in this positive direction.
That was definitely a catalyst for it, but that defining moment, to be honest with you, probably wasn't until a few months ago when I finally just realized that, you know, this is my thing now. This doesn't have to be anybody else's, and I don't have to live life as a victim just because, you know, unfortunate things happened.
Yeah.
And there's been tons. I have been so blessed with so many people that have helped me along the way. And just friends, teachers, coworkers, everybody who, you know, has just listened to me when I've, you know, complained about just anything in general, even just the day in and day out things. And I have tons of girlfriends that we have had lots of long conversations about, you know, just life in general. And even, you know, I've also realized that everybody, even if you come from a, you know, a regular home with a mom and a dad that you were born to, everybody still has their struggles. Yeah. Everybody. So, and just support. Just because there's not really people that if you don't have parents, and if you don't have a good relationship with maybe your last set of foster parents, right, then you don't have anybody to really turn to.
Yeah. Knowing yourself the way you know yourself, I'm sure that, you know, we all spend a lot of time thinking about what makes us tick and why we are the way we are. Where would you be now if your foster parents, the ones that cared about you and took you in, if they hadn't been on the scene? Where would you be?
Oh gosh.
And you know that.
Yeah, and I don't even want to think about that. I'd probably be in the same situation as my biological parents. I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of the foster homes that I was in before that, they didn't really do anything for me. And if anything, they were just as bad as my biological parents. So, yeah, I would not be in a good place. That's for sure.
Wow. Well, thank God for your foster parents.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for, you know, spending time with me today and telling me your story. You've got your story is it's a good one, and you've got a good future ahead of you.
Yeah.
So, you know, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.